Hey, can I help you with something?
Yeah, I'm looking to buy some new games.
Oh, cool. What kind of themes do you like?
I like Star Wars.
We've got Star Wars Monopoly.
Oh.
You like Pokemon? We have Pokemon Monopoly. Star Trek Monopoly. Lord of the Rings Monopoly. Game of Thrones Monopoly. Barbie Monopoly.
Maybe not Monopoly.
We have Star Wars Clue, Harry Potter Clue, Office Clue, Big Bang Theory Clue, Golden Girls Clue.
How about not Monopoly or Clue?
Indiana Jones Life.
No. Don't you guys have anything original? Not just an already made game with a theme slapped on it?
Elvis Monopoly?
Hey everybody, what is up? My name is Mackenzie.
And I'm Jonathan.
We are husband and wife, and together we are Paradise Games.
And today we're going to be talking to you about what amazing things can happen when pop culture and game mechanics come together from the start in perfect harmony. And no one does this better for us than game designers, Prospero Hall.
Now, Prospero Hall, they're in with the big guys. They have access and creative license to some of the most well-known intellectual properties out there, such as Disney, Universal Studios, Funko, who recently acquired the studio, by the way, as well as other pop culture IP like Back to the Future, Godzilla, Top Gun, and Bob Ross.
Now, we know how this usually goes, right? You got the big IP, it may sound like a cash grab or a recipe for a disaster, but Prospero Hall puts in the work.
So we did some research and we found a quote with Prospero Hall explaining more about their mission. They are quoted saying, "Everyone is a fan of something. No matter what movie, cartoon, TV series, or world famous sax player we're working with, someone out there loves the property and wants more than just a box on their shelf. Sometimes we have to become fans of the property before we can even make the game. We clocked a lot of hours watching and researching Disney films before we even started working with Villainous. In our minds, there's no reason to do anything other than make a great game, no matter if it's licensed or not, because it is worth creating a game that will get fans excited, bring new people to the community, or even just show people that we're not afraid to do weird stuff."
Now, we haven't played every Prospero Hall game, and we can't tell you that everyone's going to be a hit in your home either. But what I can tell you is that we've played enough to be able to tell that this studio is full of passion, attention to detail, theme-centric design. They truly immerse you in the story that they're trying to tell. So let's talk about some of the standouts and our thoughts there. So first up on our list is Horrified. Now this is a game we've talked about before. If you want to know our thoughts about gameplay and how we like playing this, check out our Thrilling Games for October where we talked about Horrified. Today we're going to be talking to you about the theming, how the theme plays into this game, and it's really great. So if you haven't played it yet, I highly recommend you start out with the films, and you'll be jumping up and down with excitement when you're following those films' storylines along to defeat those monsters in very similar ways.
So even if you played the game before and you're like, I know my monsters, but you haven't seen the classic black and whites, oh my goodness. We played one round of this and then we're like, okay, we have to go watch the movies. The game is still functional without them, but the amount of enthusiasm and detail and level of appreciation you are going to have toward this game and their games in general is going to heighten exponentially.
So like there's the items, for instance, that there's these random items scattered about. I'm like, oh yeah, I'll pick that crucifix up, or I'll go pick up this silver wolf cane, or I'll go pick up whatever.
At first we thought it was like random items before we saw the movies.
Yeah. But it turns out that every single one of these items had a lot of thought into what the item was, where it goes, how it's used in the game. It truly played into the theme really well.
And all of the different citizens of the town that you are rescuing, those are all actual people from the movie. And all the different movies. And I think that's what's really special about this is that Prospero Hall is able to combine many different universes into the same town, and it just works. For example, the Mummy's character, if you draw a card, every time you play you find yourself going toward the mummy because you are in his trance. For the Wolfman, if you draw a certain card, that character, the Wolfman starts to target you. The art in this game is, wow, beautifully done.
It's got those really deep, rich colors. Yeah, it's really nice.
Really pulls off that 1930s feel. Even the attention to the box. So when you open up the box, there is a speech talking about it will horrify you. And we're like, oh, that's cute, that's funny. But it turns out that is the opening speech to the beginning of Frankenstein's monster. And Jonathan and I were like, super awesome game. Done. Next up, we have Jaws.
In this game, Jaws is making his way around town. He's swimming around out in the ocean. It's a hidden information game. He's writing down his location on a secret score tracker where he's keeping track of his victims and where he's been. The humans, either one player or up to 3 players, play as Hooper, Brody, Quint, and they're boating around town trying to locate and attach barrels to the shark, which begins the second act where it flips sides and the three survivors are on the boat trying to shoot down and hit down the shark before he eats the whole boat and everyone on board. So this is another great game by Prospero Hall. We actually got the chance to watch the movie right before we played this board game. I had never seen the movie. I don't know, had you seen the movie?
No, I hadn't.
Okay, so neither of us had ever seen the movie before, but we watched it before we played this game. It's an awesome hidden information game played in 2 acts.
This game is basically a game of hide and go seek, and how it ties into the movie is different elements that the character has. Officer Brody, he has his binoculars that he can try and find the shark with. He has a closed beach sign, which he can be able to close off different beaches, but he has to do that by going to the mayor's office or going back to his PD.
Yeah, and they can also pull people off the water. So if you're at the beach, you can be like, come in, or the boats can rescue people and bring them in.
And then also with Hooper is driving around in his fancy boat, which can go 2 spaces, which if you watch the movie, his boat is much fancier. So that's just like tiny game mechanics that I think really pull into it, because Quint's boat only can go 1.
Yeah, so with Prospero Hall, there is no such thing as like a useless, themeless card. So every single card in this game is heavily themed, from being about the cardboard fin hoax to being about like just like quotes and things that happen in the game. All of them have this little quote from the film.
And I think it also adds to suspense, because in the second act, all of the cards that Hooper, Quint, and Brody see, they're all about the shark is coming to get us, and you feel that suspense coming up. You're like, oh my gosh, we have to get him before he gets us.
The art style just fits in perfectly with the theme of the game. They've got a lot of the same text from like the title text and stuff like that. It was also just a really good game. Mechanics were great. It was fun to play. Seems really replayable. So I'm really excited to play this time and time again, especially with 4 players.
Yeah.
Really excited to play with 4. So Jaws, this is a great example of a game. They took the theme and they built up from the start and really made something really fun.
And watch out for the shark, because he just might get you. Ah!
Alright, so this brings us to the Disney segment of our night. We're talking about Disney Villainous, Haunted Mansion, Jungle Cruise. Okay, so you guys know we love Villainous. So we're gonna keep it short, but we're gonna talk about themes. So the game has a core set of mechanics. It's got like, you move cards, you play cards, you get points, that sort of stuff. But what's really interesting is that they found ways to cleverly change this based on who you're playing and what you're trying to do. So there's Dr. Facilier, who has voodoo dolls who are on your side, but when you're moving those voodoo dolls, you're moving the heroes on the other side. Most people are trying to avoid their fate deck, but Captain Hook is obsessively searching his fate deck for Peter Pan.
In the Mother Gothel version, she is actually trying to gain Rapunzel's trust in order to move forward in the game.
Radigan's airship, which can help you quickly move the robot queen to the palace. Iago, who's crucial for stealing the lamp and bringing it back to the palace. There's even the Queen of Hearts, who needs the wicket card guards to light up so she can take the shot across her board.
I thought that was brilliant. You would actually turn the card sideways in order to form a croquet set.
Ursula changing forms. She can either be on land or in the sea, but she can't have both at once.
The art is beautiful in this game. They could have just taken a screenshot of the movie and slap it on there and call it a day. They took screenshots from the movie and they had an artist go in and hand paint it and hand create all these beautiful scenes to really give all of the characters to have like a seamless feel, to feel like they're all in the same universe. So in conclusion, you know we love it. Please go check out Villainous.
So at the time we produced our thrilling games for October, we didn't have a whole lot to tell you yet about Haunted Mansion, but today we're going to talk to you a bit more about that and its theme.
Grim grinning ghosts come out to socialize. That is essentially the theme of this game. It is ghost socializing, and you are traveling around the Haunted Mansion. It is that you're trying to socialize with as many different pairs of characters as you can.
Yeah, it's a great family game. It's a set collection game. If you ever played like Sushi Go Party, this is along a very similar vein. From the moment you open that box, you have "Welcome, foolish mortals." I just love that Prospero Hall has been putting this awesome art on the back of their boards, so when you first open the box, you're immediately immersed. But then you open the board, you fold it out, and you see, oh, there's the whole mansion, which it looks just like the ride, except, yeah, it's got a more artistic interpretation of it. But you look at it and you're like, oh, that's the ballroom, where they dance, and that's the seance room and the endless hallway. So it's really, really cool. It's got this idea of this rotating track that you're moving around on, which moves you between different rooms. and you go out and you socialize with ghosts, and that's how you do your set collection.
Yeah, the 3 hitchhiking ghosts are constantly following you around the board, right? There's actually not that much detail given about the Haunted Mansion. You're basically on a party through the Haunted Mansion. You're giving a tour. So they kind of had to make up some things. They had to make up the ghosts that you would see and all this stuff. It won't feel exactly like you're going through the ride, but you definitely get that Haunted Mansion magic and that Haunted Mansion spookiness throughout the game.
Remember when we told you that not every one of these games would necessarily be a hit? Well, I think this one might be that miss, and that is Jungle Cruise. And that makes me so sad to say. It's my absolute favorite ride. I just love dad jokes. Here at the bathing pool, feel free to take the elephant's picture. They've all got their trunks on. In this game, you're playing one of the Jungle Cruise navigators, and you're bringing your people across the Jungle Cruise. And along the way, you can find clues as to who potentially will be inheriting the Jungle Cruise fortune. Along the way, you'll probably lose some crew members. They'll be dunked overboard by various hazards that are in your way. And you might pick up some cargo, you might pick up some more people that'll give you some more fame and fortune by the time you reach the end. We pre-ordered it, we didn't look up anything about it, we didn't watch any videos about it. I was like, I'm so excited, we're gonna play this. And we played it, and it was fine. I mean, the theming was fantastic, as always, but the mechanics fell short here. And I think it was less so that there was anything particularly wrong with it. It just seemed that it might have used a few extra iterations of playtesting. My theory is that some of this came from the fact that the Jungle Cruise movie was supposed to release like within a few weeks of this coming out. It was delayed because of the pandemic. The game still came out. I really felt that this game could have used a little extra love. At the end of the day, you're rolling, you're moving a certain number of spaces, and everyone's drawing the same number of cards based on how far they roll. There's just not a whole lot of variance to the game, and it takes like 40 minutes longer than it should. So let's talk about the theme. Check out these ride locations. So this is like clearly based off the ride. If you look around, there's the rhino pole with the people running up. There's the elephants bathing. There's the tiger. Even in the game, the cards, you get the backside of water. It's hilarious. It actually says the backside of water. The board has this beautiful art on it. Welcome aboard the world famous Jungle Cruise. Prospero Hall, keep doing this, please. It's just so fun to open these boxes and see these fun things that you put inside. All right, so in the end, some great laughs, some fun the first time we played. I think it's a pass from us for now on, but it was really great to still be able to enjoy the art and see what they've done on that front.
Do you know how you can tell these are African elephants? Because we're in Africa.
So overall, these are the games we have played and we have tried, but Prospero Hall has made a lot of others. Some other notable ones would be Funko, Pan Am, which just came out, and then Harry Potter.
So Prospero Hall, what we have to say to you is thank you. Thank you for taking the time and the effort to honor these IPs and to come up with something really, really awesome. Thank you for putting something on our shelves that we'll play time after time. Continue to put in the research, continue to put in that effort and that detail. It really matters. So thank you so much.
All right, everyone, and that is our video about Prospero Hall's use of theme and mechanics. If you like what you saw, please like and subscribe, and also please leave a comment on any game designers you know that you think use a great use of theme.